Peace. Today I want to talk about the lack of unity in the black community. And not only the black community, but the lack of unity within the black family. And if bloodline is somewhat responsible for this lack of unity. Now, I don't care what city you live in, any place you go in America, you will find within the black community either Koreans or Arabs operating all of your corner stores and all of your places of business. The only exception to the rule is the black church, which we will discuss in another video, God willing. But I always noticed this growing up. And of course, once I came into knowledge of self, it really stood out to me that a people can live together in a community and allow another people to completely control the economics of that community. And then, if a black man or woman attempt to establish a business or go into business, the same people that throw their money at the feet of the Arabs and the Koreans would keep their dollars in their pocket and find reason and make excuses as to why they shouldn't support black-owned anything. But one time, while doing I contracted for years or a year or so as a direct TV technician, and I know some Arabs in the city of Richmond, and one noticing that the direct TV sign on my vehicle asked me if I would come out to his house and troubleshoot a problem that he was having. And of course, he was going to pay me and pay me well. So him and we drove out to his house. And by accident, I found out that nearly every store in the city of Richmond, on the south side of the city of Richmond, that operate under alphabets like SNS, J&J, JD, things of this nature, are almost always tied to one family. At least 10 stores belong to one elder. And what he done when he came here, he began to buy the stores from the Koreans who were operating them maybe 20 years ago. And he'll open up one store. He will send for a son or a nephew to come over from the Middle East and put that son or nephew in that store. And once X amount of dollars is paid back to him, it becomes his store. Then they take money collectively and open up another store and do the same thing on and on and on again. But this is not only a people, this is a family, this is a bloodline. Now, I noticed when I was coming up, I noticed when I became an adult, that my bond with cousins of mine seemed to be a lot stronger when we were children. We were very tight when we were children, and when we became adults, we lost some of that bond. Man, I could never put my finger on the cause of it. At the same time, cousins that I did not grow up with, that I met later in life, somehow we end up being tighter. So this got me to thinking over what I found with this particular Arab family. Upon further investigation, and again, I have relationships with several of these people. I've done work for them. I, done repair work and things of that nature. So we speak. And what I found out is that not only are they family, but they represent one bloodline. So let me dive right into this bloodline. You have people that you are family with, you have family ties with because of your bloodline. And you have people that you share relatives with. And the custom in the West is if we share relatives, then we are family. And this is not entirely true. This is not entirely true. I will use my children as an example. I have exactly 3 daughters and 3 sons. Now, all of my children represent my bloodline. They come from my seed or my sperm, which was living when it entered the womb of their mother. It was already alive. So the essence of life starts with the father. Check it for yourself. But so each of my children represent my bloodline. However, only my male children can reproduce my bloodline because they carry the same sperm. You understand what I'm saying? Now, my daughters, God willing, will one day be wives, a wife to a man. Each of them have a husband, God willing. And they will give that man children. But the children that they give that man belongs to that man's bloodline. Because the children come directly from him. Yes, the child is cultivated in her womb. And yes, she contributes blood. But the essence of life of that child that they will carry, or those children that they will carry, is found in the father. See, the same for my children. They would go out and they would meet women and they would marry, God willing, and they would give those women their seed. And the seed that they give that woman belongs to my bloodline. How does all this come? How does all of this work itself out? Well, in the black community, and I'm going to say some things that, and I don't say them to offend anyone. I'm not saying it to put anyone down. I'm saying it because it needs to be said. This is what happens when a father is not in the house. See? His daughters go out here and she becomes pregnant. So she has a baby. Her and that man don't work out. She goes out and meets someone else. She becomes pregnant. Has a baby. Her and that man don't work out. She go out, meet another man. You understand where I'm going with this? And those children are tight when they're children. But as they grow up, especially when they're males, they have a tendency to go in different directions. Each child goes in the direction of his father, whether he knew his father or not. These are 3 different bloodlines. 3 entirely different bloodlines. See? Now, the bloodlines that they represent may not blend well. So even though we are brothers, we don't have the same mental makeup. See? So we can get along, but to a certain degree. When it's time to come together as a family, we're bickering. We're fighting. We're fussing. See? This is entirely different when your bloodline is the same. When your children share the same father and the same mother, they have a greater chance later to unite and build together and work collectively together. It doesn't mean that they will do this. Someone has to set someone has to be the example, of course, but they have a far greater chance. And this is part of the reason why the black community would not unite. We don't unite with our family. And if you cannot unite with your family first and foremost, trying or attempting to unite with a whole people is totally out the question. We have some serious issues going on in the black community that we have to address, but we can't tiptoe around these issues. We really have to address these things and correct them by any means necessary, or we will perish as a people. Peace.